Welcome back to Farmer's Dynasty with the Rude Man. We're back, and it's morning. It is June 26th, Friday, so it's about a week after we finish this harvest up here, and the crops are now ready. So what I'm going to do is, this is where the fun begins, because I've got three fields that are all ready to go, all at once. I can only hire one worker at a time, so I'm going to hire a worker on this big field up here. It's going to take him the longest to do it. And then I am going to probably do one of the fields, the smaller fields over there, myself. But before I do that, I want to collect the straw, so I'll bale it. Let's hire a worker here and get him started. So it's June, July, August, September. I don't know. We did this in April. April. Let's see, we had all of April, all of May, and all of June. 3 full months. So if we get this done by the end of June, July, August, September, I don't know if we can get another harvest in or not. It's going to be tight. You know what, though? If I get it planted and it doesn't make it, oh, man. See, I didn't have crops up and ready to go when I did this last September. I had bare ground, and I seeded, I plowed, I cultivated, I fertilized, and I seeded, and then we went into April. I didn't have crops growing, so I don't know what'll happen. I don't know. Tell you what. Let's grab the, what do they call that damn thing? Baler. We're going to grab the baler. I'm going to get my control here. And, come on. There again. Found my control. I use the keyboard an awful lot. When I'm driving, I use the controller. But that means when I am not driving, the controller turns itself off. So I have a little bit of a delay when I go to use the controller, because I have to wait until it links itself to the computer and that kind of thing. Now the baler is up here, I think, on the field. Let's grab, no it's not. Where's the baler? The baler was in the garage, in the barn. That's right. Let's go in and get it. As you notice, I got all the lawn cleaned up. It didn't take me actually that long. It took me a while, though. Hey, it looks like our harvester's out there working. I wonder if we're ever going to get a dog. We got that really nice dog house and nothing put in it. Except for me. When Charlotte gets mad at me, it gives me at least a place to go and stay out of the rain and that kind of thing. And it's a nice dog house. Just bring my little blankie out here. Stick my head in there, my butt's hanging out. As long as it's not raining, it ain't too bad. I've had worse. Got it. You can paint these tractors. I haven't done it yet because I didn't know if it cost money. I'm definitely not going to spend money on a paint job. So I'm not quite sure if it's free or if you have to pay for it. There's really no rhyme or reason when you do this. I just drive around and start picking it up. Last time I did this, we got a little bit of a graphical glitch. You can see it right now, where the windrow's kind of blinking out once in a while. It was really bad when I did it on one of the fields. Really, it was really, really bad. Blinked out really bad. Whoa, don't drive into that field. We'll lose our crops. This is cruise control. It's just, it seems to me like it's almost too fast. I'm going to slow it down a little bit. This is me driving clear to the floor and it doesn't go that fast. Get this little piece up here. It doesn't really make a nice clean windrow So the baler has a nice little width to it. It's not too bad, actually. If you just take your time, you can pretty much just run over it in a line and it'll pick it up okay. I'm just going to go around. God dang it. Oh, don't go in that field. Man, I slammed the brakes on just in time. So, and the good thing is also the tractor will hit the bales and move them. But if you run over the bales with the baler, nothing happens. It's like there's no collision there. Thank God for small favors, eh? Yeah, look, I'm driving it manually right now. I've got it to the floor. Well, okay, it's picking up speed. I was going to say, not like the cruise control. You put it in cruise control, oh my, it's like Racerman's Alley or something. I'm trying to gain a pattern here, but it ain't easy. Because it's just the windrow, like I said, it's just kind of scattered around. Let me just go up the middle here. Boy, there's very little in the middle. What happened there? The hired workers, they go in a circle till they get all the way into the middle. And I don't know how they do it, because it's really hard to do that when you're driving it manually. Now the guy that's harvesting for us is on the biggest field I own, and it takes forever to pick up the bales because the trailer is not very big. It doesn't hold a lot of bales. And you got to drive them all the way either to the farm or to the market. And interestingly enough, you get as much for hay bales or straw bales as you do for the dang crop. If you watched the video of my last harvest, the crops didn't get very much compared to the straw. It was weird. Yeah, I know. I'm not holding a pattern very well here. It is easier to do during the later in the day because the sunlight is not at an angle, and you can see the windrow a lot better. You wouldn't think it'd make a big difference, but it kind of does. I should have probably tried to follow the circular pattern that the combine did, but it doesn't really, it's not real apparent. Seems kind of snake around here. Like I say, if you look at the baler there, I don't know, it's got a little bit of a width to it. It seems like it reaches out a little bit farther than it actually physically is. I don't know if that's the case or if it just seems that way. If it is that way, then that's a good thing. Yeah, I always have to remember not to accidentally drive into a field of crop because, man, the game jumps all over your ass for doing that. If you do it to a field you don't own, you start losing major, what do they call it, social points. It's just rude. It's just rude. You're ruining somebody's crops, and man, they take your social points away until you lose your birthday. They'll come out and take your birthday away from you. You don't deserve to have a birthday. You ruined your neighbor's crops. Man, if that happened to FS17, I'd be the most hated person in the game. I'm always ruining the neighbor's crops. If I'm not outright stealing them. Hey, that's the rude man way. Ain't nobody using these crops. It's just kind of sneak over there and pat our wallet a little bit. Yeah, if you can manage to drive around the hay bales with the tractor, the baler doesn't do anything to them. And if you notice, there's no way to hire a worker to help you with anything except for the plowing, the windrowing, the cultivation, and the harvesting. That's about all you. Oh, you can seed. You can seed your crops, but that's about it. You can't do any of the fertilizing. You can't do the baling. You can't do the straw pickup. I don't know if that's always going to be the case. Currently, it is. There hasn't been an update for a while. Looks like I'm getting hungry. Let me eat. What should we have for lunch here? I know. Let's have some fishy soup. Yeah, I was watching a video earlier. You know, I just watched the Avengers. There was that Infinity Gauntlet. It's pretty good, but then I'm easily entertained, especially when it comes to comic book movies of comic book heroes. I grew up on comics, and so yeah, I'm a big fan. The interesting thing's going to happen when Disney picks up from Fox the rights to the rest of the Marvel universe. Like right now, Marvel doesn't have the rights for Fantastic Four, or what else? X-Men doesn't have the rights for X-Men or Fantastic Four. When I grew up, Fantastic Four was one of my favorite comics. I had several favorites. Superman, of course, Batman. They were always the big ones. Spider-Man, everybody's favorites, you know. I was real big on Daredevil. I liked Daredevil. I think I liked Daredevil because he kind of had superheroes. I mean, or super, powers. Kind of. I mean, he's blind, but he can kind of see with whatever powers he has. But so that was kind of cool. But he wasn't. The rest of it was, though, all that did was give him sight, which everybody else has. So he was more like Batman in a way. Is that my... That's not my trailer. Where's my other trailer? There it is. Let's get our hay trailer. Our bale picker-upper. Got it. Now here's how I pick up my bales. I find it easier. I don't use the controller, and I just find it easier to run to the trailer. So I'll just take the trailer, kind of set it in a central location. It doesn't hold that much, so, and then I put the controller down. I grab my keyboard because it's easier for me to do this with the mouse, much more accurate, and I can use my fingers real easy to run. You can run with these bales, so I just grab the bales and run back and forth, and it won't take long. We'll have a full load. It takes me less time to load the thing than it does to drive to the market. Although some of these are going to go in the barn. I was debating how much to sell because you get good money for this, but you need it for the cattle, to feed the cattle. So it was a big debate for me. How much do I store and how much do I sell? So what I did was I filled the cow barn up full to 100%, or as close as I could get to it. I think it was like 98 or 99%. For some reason, you can't get to 100 very easy on anything here in this game. So I filled it up as full as I could get it, and then I sold everything else. That was before I realized that there's more straw storage than just the cow barn. But that being said, a whole season went by, and I barely used 10% of the. Well, I'll show you. I'm halfway through this season. And whoops, dropped it. Stubbed my toe. I stubbed my toe. Did I get everything? See, while we're down here, let's go take a look. I'll take a look at the cow barn and see how much straw we've used. Keep calling it hay because they eat it, but it's straw. Right, see, we're still 92% halfway through the season. So we're not using very much. But here I didn't know that you could store bales in here too. Now, there's really, I guess there might be a way to stack them. I don't know. It's pretty much just bring them in here and throw them, and they just kind of pile up. But do I do that because I don't really need to? They're not eating that much. Now, that was interesting. I just saw screen tears. I haven't seen screen tears on this game before. Either it's something new or I just didn't see them before. Kind of funny too, because screen tears don't bother me as much as some people. Some people see one little screen tear in a game and they just freak out. One of the things I do like about live streaming, which I have fun live streaming. My audience has fun with me live streaming. They're pretty loyal to me in that respect, but it's not my favorite thing. It terrifies me. I have to really pump myself up to do it because I'm always afraid I'm going to say something I'm going to get in trouble for. I just did a live stream here, what was it, this week? And I had a, what do they call it? I had a strike against me from YouTube for copyright issues on it. And the easiest thing to do is just delete the dang thing. So they sent me an email, said, you got a copyright strike against this video. What do you want us to do about it? And I don't, it's kind of like a black mark for me. It isn't as serious as I think it used to be. But even so, they want to know what you want to do with it. The easiest thing for me was just to delete the thing, so I did. The people that watched it during the live stream, I had enough people watching it, and I just kind of deleted it. I don't like messing with that. I don't want somebody coming after me. It's kind of like, hey, you downloaded a song from the internet, and the people that own it hired a lawyer, and they serve you with notice that you stole from them. Yeah, it's like, that's why I don't use those BitTorrents and those kind of things. I don't do that kind of thing. If I want to buy a movie, I'll buy a movie. I'm not going to download it off the internet. That way with games too. If a studio sends me a game, which they do, I get a lot of games from studios that they want me to play and make videos of. And I tend not to if it's a game I wouldn't normally play. But what I will do, I'm sorry, if it's something I'm interested in, I'll take the game and I'll play it, and if I'm having fun with it, I'll go ahead and make a video or 2 or 3 or whatever. But before I do, I go buy the game. I don't like messing with it, because when you have a studio give you a game, that means that you're being paid to play it, and you have to disclose that in every respect. You have to put it in the description that I am being paid to play this game, you have to say during it vocally, you have to say, I am being paid to play this game. And you have to acknowledge it, like I said, in every way, that you're being paid to play the game. If you... How they can prove this, I don't know. But if you go and say, oh my God, this is the best game since sliced bread, but you don't really think that, that's against the law. You have to be honest with what you say, because they want to be able to prove that you're not saying it's a good game just because somebody gave it to you or you're being paid to play it. How they would prove that, I'm not sure, but that's part of it too. So to keep from having to do all these rules and regulations, games are not that expensive. If it's a game I decided to play or I decided to record, I decided to record it because I was having fun with it. If I'm having fun with it, I don't mind buying it. And so I do. So usually if you see me playing a game, I may say the studio sent this to me. But if I recorded it, that means I actually bought it. So if somebody says something to me, I can go to Steam and say, here's my receipt. I own that game. I did not make a video of a game that was given to me. Am I paranoid? Yeah, a little bit. Do I have reason to be? Not really. I've never done anything wrong before or got caught doing anything wrong before. I'm a pretty honest person. But there's always a first time that somebody accuses you of doing something you didn't do and you don't have any way to prove you didn't do it. So I guess that's paranoid, isn't it? Isn't that being paranoid? How the hell did I get in this subject anyway? Never mind, I'm having fun farming. Kinda. Although this isn't really fun. It's kind of a chore. Thank God this field is small, huh? So I don't see any reason to keep any of this straw because I'm halfway through the season. I haven't even used 10% of the straw I got last season. And even if I did need it, I can always go back and buy it. I can always go and buy it back. I must be pretty strong in this game because I can run with these bales. Either that or, well, they're only straw bales. Probably not that heavy. Right? Alright. We're off to see the wizard again. Yeah, it is kind of nice that you can drive through the neighbor's field when it doesn't have crops on it. You don't get in trouble. Thank God for small favors, eh? There's my neighbors. Can't remember her name. Abigail, I think. No? Something like that. Hey, so this coming weekend is it this weekend or next? I can't remember. Where one of the princes over in England's getting married. I didn't know who he was marrying. I didn't realize it was an American. It's an American actress, and I've actually seen shows she's been in. Very pretty girl. But I don't know. I didn't know they were allowed to marry Americans without giving up all their rights. How does that work? It's like you're a traitor to your country. You're marrying an American. What? But she's pretty. Wow, got quiet all of a sudden. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not live streaming. Just kidding. I knew I wasn't live streaming. I wonder how some of these YouTube pages do it when they make a movie and they don't comment. There's no commentary. They're just playing the game. To me, that's kind of boring. I can watch myself play the game. If I could ever keep my mouth shut, it'd be quiet too. But the funny part was, I've had a couple people unsubscribe to me because there were times that I had a little bit of silence in the game. And one guy in particular, he said, "This is why I unsubscribed to you the last time. Silent air or something like that kills," or something. I didn't really quite know what he meant, unless he meant that for some reason there was a period in the video that I didn't talk for a while. But there you go. It's kind of funny how some people on there, and I'm not criticizing people that make comments. I love the comments. I don't always agree with them. But I read every one of them. I don't always answer every one of them, but I try to. But it's kind of funny because a lot of people will make a comment on a video, and for some reason in their mind, it all makes perfect sense because you must know what they're thinking when they write it. Like they'll say something about, "Wow, that bale was huge." Okay, I spent 45 minutes picking up bales in this video. Which bale were you referring to? So it always helps when somebody says, okay, at 10 minutes and 4 seconds in the video, you picked up a bale that was just huge. And so then, oh, okay, I see what you're saying now. But a lot of times people make a comment and they think you know what they're thinking because the comment is really vague. And so sometimes I'll read a comment. I said, I'm not quite sure what they're asking or what they're talking about. I'm sure it makes perfect sense to them. You should know what I'm thinking. Come on. It's pretty obvious I was thinking about that right there. Right, let's go get our combine. And how do we tell? Let me see. If I go to the map and look at that field, will it tell me how much is done? It will. So he's halfway done. That guy, halfway done. Good for him. Right, let's grab this thing. I love this combine. This combine, it acts like it's running on steam. It doesn't seem like it's running on fuel. Look at that. It hisses. Listen to it. It hisses. Oh, it automatically unhooks from the header too for some reason. It always does. I don't know why. But the smoke coming out of it, there we go. The smoke coming out of it looks like steam, doesn't it? And it's like it sounds like a steam engine, like clickety clack, clickety clack, clickety clack, and shh, like it's whistling or something. It's kind of weird. And it doesn't use much fuel. Let me see. Okay, it's got 94%, and I have not put fuel in this since I bought it, or since I started the game. Isn't that weird? Now, unfortunately, if you use this old equipment, you don't get as good a yield with the old equipment. You'll get better yield with the new equipment, but of course, this early in the game, I'm only just started the second season. I have not even close to amount of money to buy a combine. And you have to be careful now that I know that they have, when I first started playing the game, you could not hire a worker. Well, now that you can hire a worker, you can't hire a worker if you don't have at least 50,000 social points. If you don't have the money to buy the equipment outright, you have to use social points to buy equipment. And it takes a lot of social points to buy a piece of equipment like this. I made the mistake of buying that tractor and only paying half the price for it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. How much am I carrying here? Okay, fuel, 81%. Right. I made the mistake of wanting the tractor early, and I didn't realize how many social points it was going to take. And it took almost all my social points. Then I went to hire a worker, and of course I didn't have the social points to do it. And I didn't have any money. And I was kind of stuck, so I think it's probably best now that I keep the social points that I've earned and try to earn the exact amount of whatever the piece of equipment is that you're going to want to buy. The tractor was $90,000 and I paid $45,000 for it, plus a whole crap load of social points. All right, now where's my other? It's inside the barn, isn't it? Let's jump out. Hit the barn. I'm hoping to get enough money here to purchase. See, look at, that's where you see the screen tearing. Right there. See it? You see it? It doesn't bother me all that much. I wish it didn't do that. But some people just freak out when they see that. I think it's worse to have pixelation. But then what do I know? You know, I just noticed that this tractor kind of looks like it's running on steam too, doesn't it? This is where you have to be careful that you don't get into the field. So, oh, I missed a straw bale. Yeah, you have to be careful at this point when you're harvesting to make sure that the pipe on the combine always stays outside the field. Unlike Farm Sim 17, where you can drive whichever way you want on the field. This one, if your pipe is inside, then you have to drive your tractor on the field. If you do that, you crush your crops. So yeah, there's that. Trailer didn't hold very much. Right, here we go again. I gotta remember to get that straw bale. I wish you could hire more than one worker at a time, but you can't. I have to wait till he's done with that big field. The reason I did that big field kind of first, wasn't first because it wasn't ready. But after the other three fields, it was the first one I wanted to do because it's so big. It's going to take me a lot of physical work because I can't hire a worker to bale and pick up the straw. So I have to do that myself. So I figured while I'm doing that on the big field, that'll give the hired worker enough time to finish off the other fields and start plowing and cultivating while I'm working on that other, because it's going to take me that long to pick up the bales on that big field. Are you kidding? Is it full that fast? It doesn't say it is. Did it say I was going too fast? Is that what it said? Could be. Alright, let me go get my trailer. Thank God I can run across the field barefooted without crushing the crops. I just love running through a field of wheat. Tickles my nose. Yeah, I had my fields all clean. All this weeds on the side were all mowed down. Looked really nice. Time goes by and it all grows back. What the heck's that all about? That nature, I tell you. Now, have I lined up good enough? Is that gonna... I don't want to spill it on the ground. If you spill it on the ground, you lose it. It's lost. You can't get it back. Okay, here we go. That should work. Now, you should be able to get 3 combine loads in this trailer, but again, if you're not careful, you'll lose crop. Getting a good yield is hard work. You've got to plow and cultivate and put store-bought fertilizer on, and you got to put manure on. And I haven't yet been able to do 100% of that. I don't even know if it's possible. If I hire a worker, is that wheat out there? I don't think so. Okay, I don't want to do that. I was thinking about doing that, but no, I don't want to do that. Let's go over here. Run down this edge. So anyway, hey, I was talking earlier about Marvel, where Disney bought Marvel, right? And Disney is now buying the rest of the characters from Fox, who owns the rights to quite a few of them. And I'm excited because I was telling you that the Fantastic Four was my favorite comic. I did not like, it didn't hold anything. I did not like the new version of the Fantastic Four. It was not good. I didn't like it. I didn't mind the old movies. I thought they were good, like the one with the Silver Surfer. I was highly entertained. I didn't think there was anything wrong with them. For some reason, people seem to think they didn't get it right. I don't know. It seemed good for me. I enjoyed it. But for some reason, people didn't like it. I thought it was perfectly fine. I can understand some of the issues with the hardcore comic book people because they were a little bit upset about Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom in the comics was a badass, and not just with the Fantastic Four. He was a badass to the Avengers and a lot of other superheroes in the Marvel Universe. He was just a badass, and in the movies, they just didn't do his character justice. It was, he didn't have much. Fantastic slapped him around pretty easy. And I think that upset some people. But I kind of liked those movies. I enjoyed them. I bought them. I've watched them several times and still enjoy them. I thought they did a good job with the Silver Surfer and that kind of thing. But I didn't like the new one. Look at that, no spillage. Sweet. Now, I don't like storing this stuff, but I'm going to do it here a little bit, just so I don't have to drive back and forth, because it takes forever to drive. The best price is the windmill, and it's quite a ways away. So I'm going to use the storage here, and then we'll haul it all at once. Who knows? Maybe by that time, I'll have a bigger trailer. And it's not going to be a lot anyway, because if you notice, the hired worker's getting most of it. And I'm getting the money right away. I don't know what kind of price I'm getting, but he's doing the work for me. I should go check and see how he's doing. Right, I'm going to run this guy since he's almost empty. I'm going to run this guy straight up. I shouldn't do this. I don't know why. I never do things the right way. I always just do it my way. It's the rude man way or the highway. I like to be unique, I guess. I don't know. Now, see, it looks like the combine is swaying, but it's not. It's not the combine. Is it full already? Oh, my goodness. That's not good. I shouldn't have done what I just did. You know why I thought I could do it? I thought I could do it because the last time I harvested this field, I didn't get half the yield. I don't think I fertilized. I didn't, now that I recall. I didn't fertilize at all. I'm getting about twice the yield now than I did because I was able to go 2-3 times up and down and not fill this combine. Uh-oh. Jumped out. There we go. Well, I shouldn't have done what I just did. I got to follow through now. I'll go and finish up that row. Now that I broke it open, it gives me a place to drive down with the tractor. All right, I'm gonna go. I want to go check on the hired worker and see how he's doing. They always kind of leave some in the middle. It probably doesn't amount to much, though. Not really, in the long run. Yeah, see, he's still... It looked like before he was halfway done. It says he's 76% done, so he's getting there. I forgot to look at how much money I had when I started. I think it was only 14 or 15,000. I can't recall. I just don't recall. Tell you what, when I edit the video, I'll do the math. You might not ever hear it, but I will. That's just mean. That there's just mean. Whoa! I forget about the damn traffic. I don't know what happens if they hit me. I know I can hit them and knock their car around. I know that. Alrighty, I tell you what, I'm going to end the episode here. I hope you had fun. If you did, give it a like. If you have a friend, share it with them. If you haven't subscribed yet, you'd make me a happy camper if you did. And I will see you again on the farm in the next episode. In the meantime, whichever farming game you're playing, have fun. And I'll see you then.